Hello, you're watching F-Rod Junction, and today I'm actually going to be doing a fairly quick video, well, at least quick by my standards anyway. I'm currently in the process of re-chipping some of my locomotives with different decoders, and I thought it would be interesting to do a comparison of new versus old. Now, I use a lot of Backman decoders on the layout, and the reason why I did that was because they were relatively inexpensive, and most of the locomotives I had are pretty much Backman. I've got about 3 Helgen locomotives, and I've got probably 4 Hornby locos. The rest are all Backman, so I tend to use Backman decoders. Up until recently, I've been quite happy with the Backman decoders, but they have recently changed the 21-pin decoder, and certainly from my experience, it's nowhere near as good as the old one. So what I've been doing is upgrading the decoders to better quality ones, and the difference is amazing. So here we have a Backman Class 47. This is one of the most recent releases. That's my Intercity Swallow liveried one, and it's a nice locomotive, but it's never run very well with the decoder I've had in it. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But this locomotive is quite expensive. To be honest, most locomotives these days are quite expensive. Prices are always going up, and you'll be lucky to get a Class 47 by a Backman for under £80 now. So that's quite an investment. And there's not a lot of point if you invest all that money in a locomotive and then buy a cheap decoder for it, and it doesn't run very well. So here we have the Backman 21-pin 36-557 decoder. This is the most current version, at the time of filming anyway, of their 21-pin decoder. Now, Backman won't make them the decoder themselves. I'm sure it's subcontracted out to another decoder manufacturer, but whoever makes these, I'm not so sure. If we jump over to the Hatton's website, you can see you can buy these decoders for a very reasonable £15. But is it really worth the investment if the locomotive doesn't run very well? So here we are on the track. The locomotive is getting power, but the first thing that is really obvious and has driven me mad since I've had it is the noise it makes. You hear that buzzing sound? It's really irritating, and it's just at the right frequency for you to hear it pretty much wherever the locomotive is parked. As long as it's on the track, it makes this noise. Apart from the buzzing, the other problem I tend to get, particularly if the locomotive has been sat for a little while, is it has a reluctance to pull away. It'll move a tiny bit and then stutter to a halt, and you'll need to give it a push. Now, the track on the layout is very clean, and I do my best to keep it in tip-top condition all the time. But it does seem to struggle occasionally when it's been sat for a while, and that is a problem that I don't get with any of the other locomotives that are chipped with the slightly older Backman decoder. So noise and slight jerkiness aside, the biggest thing that's put me off the cheaper decoders, certainly the newer version, is its inability to respond to the emergency stop function on the controller. The emergency stop function is extremely important. It stops all trains in their tracks immediately when you press the button, and it's very handy. I'm sure you've used it a number of times. You can imagine if I've got 6 trains running up here and I get a derailment, then I need to stop all the trains as quickly as possible. It's no good for me to just stop the affected train, because the one that's following it is going to crash into the back of it. The more trains that crash into each other and fall off the rails, the more damage you're going to do to them, and the more likely you'll scratch the paint, ruin any of the weathering that you've done, screw up any repaints, stuff like that. So I consider emergency stop to be extremely important. And I'll just quickly show you what I mean. So I've got that loco over there programmed as locomotive 23. So if we tell it to accelerate up to 48, there it goes. Now you can see that I've got a train over there not moving, so we'll imagine that that's damaged or derailed. If I press stop now, press stop, you can see the train still going, and what it's actually doing, if I hold it now, it's actually slowing down as per the deceleration that's been programmed into the decoder. So when I hit stop, it's not stopping, it's being told to slow down to 0 over a period of time. Now, it shouldn't do that, and the old ones don't do that at all. So I'm going to take out current decoder. I just use a coffee stirrer, just prise it up at the corners. Don't put too much strain on them because you don't want to bend the pins. Eventually it'll tease itself out. There you go. Just pops off like that. There's loads of good quality decoders available, but I have a lens controller, as you can see there, so I decided it's probably a good idea to actually buy lens decoders. And the lens decoders I'm getting are the 21 pin silver decoders, and they're about £10 more expensive than the current Backman versions. You can see I've got free over there, and they're free to upgrade the free class 47s that I have equipped with the decoder I don't like. So here we are on the track with the replacement decoder fitted, and the first thing that's immediately apparent is that it is silent. So what I will do is give it a run, test the slow speed performance, and we'll check the all-important emergency stop. You can see the slow speed control is excellent, it really crawls along. I'm going to do a quick test of the acceleration, and we're looking for something nice, smooth, gradual, makes it look convincing. So I'm going to tell it to go up to speed 48, which is a sort of reasonable pace. And you can see slowly creeping away. The most important thing for me is the emergency stop. So we can see we're approaching a parked train, we're going to have a crash. If I press stop, it stops, as it should. Okay, so we're going to do a quick comparison. The Backman 47 on the left hand side is exactly the same tooling as the one on the right, except the one on the right has a lens decoder and the one on the left has a cheaper Backman 21 pin decoder. Now they're both set to accelerate up to about speed 50, so we'll do a quick comparison of the acceleration rates and the smoothness of them. Remember, you're looking for something that takes as long as possible to accelerate up to a nice steady speed. And straight away you can see that the 47 on the left didn't actually move at all, it is stalled, which is one of the issues I mentioned with this particular decoder. Okay, so let's try again. The 47 on the left has the cheaper decoder, and it's set to accelerate at the slowest possible speed. It's already gone underneath the town scene. So here we go, we got another class 47 that's joined in. So this is going to be a test of the emergency stop. Now this one has the newest, cheaper Backman decoder in it. This one, obviously, I've just changed that out for a lens silver decoder, and this 47 has the older 21 pin decoder that you could buy up to about 6 months ago. That's now been replaced by this newer one. So let's tell all three trains to accelerate. Away they go. You can see the newer decoder actually accelerates even faster than the old one with the lens here. Now if I press stop, we can see these two stop, but this one carries on going. And if you're unlucky, it'll crash into whatever you were trying to avoid. I'm not trying to say always spend loads of money and buy premium decoders. A lot of us are on a budget, as am I. And I'm also not trying to say that premium decoders are, you know, super duper amazing and the budget decoders are rubbish. I'm merely just saying what I've experienced over the last 6 months and what I've decided to do in the effort of improving the quality of my model trains and hopefully saving me a bit of money by not having to waste time with those cheaper decoders. But I'd be interested to know what your thoughts are, what you've experienced with various budget decoders you may have tried over the years, what decoders you use now, and what works for you. It seems to be there's a lot of different decoders out there that work for different people on different layouts. This is just my personal experience. So I'm not trying to sway your decision or anything, I'm just interested to provoke a discussion with this video. So I'm going to go away and I'm going to chip the other two locomotives that I have been having trouble with the lens ones, and I'll let you know in future layout updates how I have been getting on with them. But so far, been very impressed with the quality, the lack of buzzing that you get, and the smoothness of operation. I think it's going to make a real difference to the locomotives on the layouts. I've had a lot of issues with these three when I've been trying to run them in some of the running videos, some of the layout updates. They just don't get going, or they run too quickly, or if I have an accident they don't stop and then one of them crashes into the back of the other one and we end up with scratched paint and missing parts. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with another video soon.